Bishop Bush introduced you to a family who believes spice was the driving force behind their son's suicide. We also learn why the drug is so unpredictable and dangerous.
Now you'll hear from a young man who said he came close to death after smoking spice. It's part 2 of the Fox 10 News special report, Lethal High.
Nick Reeves bought spice back when it was legal. He took one hit and lost control. He now tells his story as a warning to you.
One time, one hit. That's it.
Nick Reeves thought he was about to have some fun with a friend.
He took the first hit.
But it was anything but fun.
When I took my hit, I walked to the living room and I found him on the ground, seizing. I had blood coming out of my ears and vomiting.
Before Reeves woke up in a hospital bed, he had what he calls the scariest moment of his life.
You know that there's something there. And in my mind, it was the devil pulling me away. And it was basically a fight for my life. I mean, I saw him. He was physically there in front of me trying to take me. And every time I say that, it sounds ridiculous, but in my mind, it physically happened.
Call it a hallucination, a vision, or the real thing. Whatever Reeves went through that night convinced him he was near death.
It could have been me that died. My parents could have been the ones that lost, but they weren't. I was very lucky.
After he recovered, Reeves began telling kids spice is not worth it.
It was me that passed and Brandon lived. He would be in my shoes. So he can't speak, but I still have a voice.
Authorities say spice dealers are targeting your kids with bright colored packaging and catchy names. Anyone can get it over the internet and at some neighborhood stores, and it's happening in Mobile and Baldwin counties. The law banning synthetic drugs in Alabama is named after 2 teens, one of them Brandon Murphy. But the law in Murphy's death is not stopping people from selling the drug.
The drug that they sell is absolute poison.
Razzie Smith is the commander of Mobile County Sheriff's Department Narcotics Unit.
There is a culture out there of people that have bought businesses here, and at some point, maybe before it was outlawed, they sold spice, and they're continuing to do it. They're just doing it underground and under the counter.
We rode along with Smith during a recent spice arrest to see who authorities suspect are selling the drugs.
It's not just the stereotypical crack dealer that might live in a impoverished part of town, and there are people that live nice, that look like nice people, that are educated people, but somehow or another they've lost their way on their moral compass, and all of a sudden it's okay to destroy other people's lives so you can make money.
Do you have any spice inside the house?
Can you call a lawyer?
You call your lawyer when you get down to Metro Jail.
Okay.
Deputies believe this couple was selling spice. Detectives said they received a tip that the family was selling it at 2 convenience stores in Mobile County. Guns were seized, and another family member was also arrested.
You don't know that spice is illegal?
We don't know.
Mike Reese with the ABC board says the ban against synthetic drugs in Alabama has helped, but he says chemists are one step ahead of the law.
They change one compound and it makes it a total different substance under the law.
A Drug Enforcement Administration spokesperson says although the law is helpful, it's not enough.
That we can't legislate our way out of this problem with bills from Congress. We can't enforce our way out of this with a whole bunch of arrests.
He says people need to understand the risk, something the Murphys wish their son would have known.
We go from crying in here to me jumping in the car, riding down the road and just bawling. Or I hear her bawling, or, I hope nobody ever has to go through the nightmare of finding their wife laying on the floor bawling.
A risk Nick Reeves now understands.
It's a horrible thing that you're putting inside your body, and I didn't know that. I wish I had someone tell me. I wish I had someone say, you don't need to do this. Like, you really don't.
And if you think your family is invincible, consider the Murphys.
Please don't say, not my kid won't do it, because we said that.
So how can you protect your family from the drug? On top of being aware of the unpredictable dangers, the DEA recommends some things you can do on Fox10TV.com.
Someone who's conducting a public battle against a different kind of addiction will be coming to Mobile next